I'm curious from all of you guys, maybe Luke, you jump in on this one first, but like, how are you able to, in terms of your interactions with people, the disciplines that you have, how are you able to start to see the future and patterns as it relates to how you invest?
I think one thing that's pretty interesting is that when you're thinking about sourcing as a VC or just as an investor, because I've done that individually as well, you're kind of wandering the desert because you're out there like, maybe I'll make some connections with this accelerator here if it's early stage, or this VC here if it's mid or later stage. One thing I think that corporates specifically have, given the question, that's a little bit of an unfair advantage, is that we kind of get to see what's happening inside of corporations and the companies that are solving problems for corporations pretty quickly. And frankly, that's that's a little bit of an inside knowledge to know, oh yeah, this is a company that we're really going to double down on, or this specific area in logistics is going to be a super critical area to reduce costs or what have you. So I think, in terms of kind of seeing what's coming and staying up to date on things, why I think it's, of course, table stakes that anyone that's like investing in a market should keep abreast with what's happening in like startups and, go to demo days and talk to VCs and talk to accelerators. I think that from a corporate lens, a lot of what kind of comes in is that you actually get to see firsthand what the corporate demand is and kind of like see how the pilots are going and see what's getting traction. So, we really focused on scaling that across other corporates as well and talking to the counterparts there to really see how that's working. So for me, that's how I tend to kind of try to stay up on things, is keeping the connections inside of ABI and then inside of other corporates really, really top notch. And that frankly is my sourcing pool in a lot of cases and deal flow.
What in those conversations, what are the things that you're trying to learn? Obviously, you're in the know for sure, but like, what are the questions you ask? What are you trying to learn?
I'd say, number one, and it's almost like stupidly simple, is like, where are you spending money, right? Like if you're a corporate and you say, oh yeah, we have this huge initiative around, I don't know, water or whatever else, sustainability and water, which I think is amazing. ABI has some phenomenal initiatives on that front. Well, are you actually spending money on that, or are you doing a lot of PR around it? And I think, and again, in ABI's case, they're spending a lot of money on it, and it's a huge initiative. But you get to see inside of corporates that, like, when times are hard, innovation budgets get sliced. A lot of times new initiatives get shut down. These things where they're actually saying, oh no, we're going to double down on that, it's going to drive cost savings or what have you. A lot of times that is pretty key for seeing, like, for asking them where they're actually going to spend capital. And then the other thing is pretty much all of these organizations inside of corporates have, 1, 3, and 5 year plans where you can kind of say, okay, what's the future look like, right? They know a lot of the logistics and supply chain leads know what companies they're thinking of bringing in, if it's autonomous or, smart trucking or routing or what have you. So I think it's really getting hands-on with like the business operators and the business units, as opposed to, say, people who kind of see across the entire organization to see like where they're spending capital and how they see kind of the world going for their group.